Welcome to our Educational Leadership and Preliminary Administrative Servicing Credential Application Workshop. I'm Leanne Kuhn, Director of the Office of Credentials, and I'm so glad you've chosen to watch this application video. Just to give you some context, my office is where your application is reviewed in the School of Education before it moves to program directors for an admission decision. Over the past years, we've identified a few of the required items that, when uploaded incorrectly, really slow down the application files and delay admission decisions. My hope for this video is that I can share some specific examples and the important information that you will need to ensure your application packet moves through all of the steps and you receive a favorable admission decision as quickly as possible. Just a little side note, you might hear me use the acronym CTC several times throughout the video. The CTC is the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing. This is the organization that makes all of the regulations and sets standards for all California credential preparation programs. When you have completed your program, your credential will be granted by the CTC. So let's get started looking at the application and identify some of those areas of concern that I mentioned earlier. So when you open your application on the APU website, you will be asked a series of questions in which you will choose the program, the term, and the campus in which you would like to participate. If you are unsure about which program you would like to choose that would best help you reach your professional goals, we would encourage you to speak to a program representative at the Graduate and Professional Center. They can answer your questions and help you decide which program will best meet your needs. So for today's purposes, I have a Master's in Educational Leadership and Preliminary Administrative Service Credential Program application chosen. You can see that my term of choice is spring of 2019 and my campus of choice is Azusa. So once that's been decided, it's personal information time. So you're going to be asked to enter in your demographics, name, email, phone number. Please choose an email that you check on a regular basis so that you can be sure to receive any information sent to you from us. And you always want to make sure that you choose Save and Continue at the end of any section that you have completed. That way, when you leave your application and come back, you won't have to redo any of your hard work. So you're going to put in your mailing address, Save and Continue, your citizenship information, current employer, and additional information. Now right here is where we get to our very first tricky spot, and that's the date of birth and social security number. It's very important that you enter your date of birth and social security number in this section because we need this information to verify that you have an active, valid CTC document, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. We can't do our verification without your social security number and date of birth, and if you do not include it, then your application will be on hold until we can reach you and get that information. I know that some people are very nervous about entering that information on an online application. Please know that we deal with all student information in the most confidential manner possible, and that your social security number and date of birth will not be shared with anyone outside of our university. We appreciate your help, especially with this area. Make sure you save and continue once you finish this section. The next section here is for you to enter in any of your undergraduate or previous college work that you have done. There are several sections there. You can also choose if you've gone to more than one school. It will just keep adding to your application. You choose the school within the scroll bar and then also let us know which kind of degree you have received. And you want to save and continue after you have finished adding all of your undergraduate and or master's education. All right, then the next section you're going to come to is the area that talks about transcripts. Make sure you make your request for your official transcripts that show your BA and master's have been posted, and those should be sent to the Graduate and Professional Admissions Department. Transcripts must be in a sealed envelope from your undergraduate institution, and if your institution sends digital transcripts, they must be sent directly to gpadmissions@apu.edu. In order for transcripts to be official, they need to have been in the chain of custody directly from your institution to APU. Keep in mind, sometimes official transcripts can take a while to receive, so you want to make sure that you make those requests early. We don't want your application to be slowed down because we have not received your transcripts. You want to make sure that you request transcripts from all of your undergrad and post-baccalaureate institutions so that we can see all of your previous college information and GPAs. Our program expectations for admission is a 3.0, but if your undergrad or post-baccalaureate GPA is lower than this, that doesn't mean you won't be admitted, so we would still encourage you to apply anyway. However, if your GPA is lower than a 2.5, you will want to make sure that you take a look at our departmental exceptions that are listed in our catalog in order to have a more favorable admissions decision. One of these exceptions would need to be met in order for you to be admitted. All right, so the next section of the application would be recommendations. Our recommendations are done completely online now, so you will want to make sure that you read this help text here that provides information about who those recommendations should be sent to. The important thing is that you choose 3 references who can speak directly to your academic or professional aptitude, behavior, competence, character, and willingness to learn. Make sure that the person you are choosing as a recommender has seen you in action in a leadership, employment, or educational role. Please do not send these to family members or personal friends. These applications are looked at carefully during the admissions process to determine if you will be a fit for our program. When you decide who you'd like to use, it's always a good practice to get consent and to give the person a heads up that they will be getting an email directly from APU with a request for a recommendation. If they tell you they have not received it, then you do want to encourage them to look in their spam mailbox. We have heard that that can sometimes be the case. So here's how it works. You're going to fill out all of the information here about person's first and last name, as well as their email. Make sure you enter that email address correctly. You're going to answer the question about whether you agree to waive access to the recommendation. Once you do that 3 times, at the end of the section, you'll see that familiar Save and Continue button. Once you choose that, each one of the 3 people that you have chosen will receive an email with an online recommendation form attached. It is their opportunity to speak to your ability to be in our program. They can fill it out all in one sitting and/or save it and come back and complete it in a second sitting. Once they return that to us, it will be automatically uploaded into your application, and there is nothing for you to collect or upload in this section. Now, if one of your recommenders chooses to decline to recommend you, you will receive an email that says that you need to choose another recommender. So you'll want to go back into your application, change this information, choose Save and Continue again, and a new email will be sent to the new person that you have chosen as a recommender. Again, make sure that your recommenders know that the email is coming, and if they don't see it, that they should check their spam folder just in case it's been dropped into there on accident. All right, the next portion of our application will be the application essay. For you, it is a personal statement in about 1 to 2 pages. It's very important that you upload a well-written piece here that speaks to your experience, personal and professional history, why you are applying to the program, as well as your long-term professional goals. These are read by multiple people, and it's truly an opportunity for you to introduce yourself and make a great first impression. This is also your opportunity to highlight your writing skills, so correct grammar and well-structured thoughts and ideas should definitely be included. It is best to upload this document as a PDF so that the format will be unchanged from what you intended. Sometimes people choose to upload things from their iPads or tablets or phones, and oftentimes the format has been changed. So make sure you save your document in a PDF form before uploading. Whenever you're uploading anything, you're going to choose this cloud, select your file, and then it will automatically be put into your application for our review. Make sure you save and continue so you don't lose any of your work. All right, the next section here is your resume. You need to provide a current resume with your up-to-date work experience, academic information, and other information that would help us. You want to submit a professionally structured resume, especially highlighting your experience in the K-12 school system. Again, we suggest this be uploaded in a PDF document so that the format is not changed from what you intended. We would highly encourage you to develop a resume for your own professional future. However, if you do not currently have one at the time of application, you can use the Statement of Experience form that is also linked here in this section. All right, once you have uploaded that, you want to make sure that you save and continue to save your work. The next section for you is proof of your professional experience. You are going to need to verify 5 years of teaching experience or pupil personnel service experience under one of your previous credential. This is a tricky spot for us. People think that their resume may count for this or some other kind of verification. However, you need to upload a letter that has been written on district letterhead, written by someone in the Human Resources Department of a school district, and that letter needs to confirm 5 years of experience as a teacher, a school psychologist, a counselor, a school nurse. 5 years of your professional experience must be verified. If you need to, you may need to have to go to more than one district for proof of the entire 5 years. So if you've only been at your current position for 3 years, then you're going to need to go to your previous district for an additional letter. So there may actually be more than one document that you are uploading here. And that's okay, but we do need to see verification of 5 complete years. Otherwise, your application cannot be considered for the Preliminary Administrative Services Credential Program. All right, so you want to save and continue. All right, so all of the School of Education programs require that basic skills requirement has been satisfied. This is a tricky part for some of you because you've been in the profession a long time, perhaps before you've decided to pursue your Preliminary Administrative Services credential. There are some exceptions to this, but what we like to see is your official score reports to your CBEST. So that would look like this. We'll know it's you because it has your name and address and your last 4 of your social security number. Some people have just sent us a snapshot or a screenshot of one little section here on the test score report, and that is perfectly okay. But we do need to see an official score report of your CBEST and your basic skills requirement met. If that is an issue for you because you don't have that, it would be a good idea for you to contact the Graduate and Professional Center and see if there are other options, and or contact our office to see if one of your previous credentials might meet this expectation. But it is always best for you to have official score reports of any of the previous exams you have taken. And if you don't have those, you may want to order them from Pearson, just because it's good to have in your files for future use. The next thing you will need to do is to upload your valid CTC Clear prerequisite teaching or services credential or designated subject credential. So what we are looking for is a screenshot or copy scanned of your CTC document. So it could look like this with all of your different credentials listed. And we should see clear here in the term, and we should see an expiration date that is in the future, at least past the first semester of your coursework here in our program. Or it may look like this, which would just be an individual credential. Again, it should have the name of the credential. It should say clear, valid, and have an expiration date that is at least 6 months in the future of your beginning of your program. So you'll want to make sure that you upload screenshots or copies of those things. Your application will not be considered unless you have a valid, clear prerequisite credential, and that can be a teaching credential, a PPS credential, or other designated service credentials. So you'll want to make sure that you have copies of that ready to go. Make sure you save and continue so that you don't lose your hard work. All right, the last two sections here are about academic dismissal and previous convictions. If you choose yes for either one of these, you will be asked to upload additional information, attach a paragraph or a document describing the circumstances, and if you have prior convictions, you will be prompted to upload supporting documents of that situation, a paragraph, a narrative explanation, as well as any supporting public documents. If you've had either of these two situations, please don't be discouraged. That won't mean that you are not admitted to our program, but it is good information for us to know, and we still want you to apply and wait for your admission decision. All right, last but not least is our statement of agreement. This is important to us. We hope that you will read and reflect on this and then sign that you agree with all of these items in our statement of agreement. You're going to put your electronic signature and then save and review your application. Once you have completed this final step and all of your documents have been uploaded, then your application will automatically be sent to the Graduate and Professional Admissions Department. And the processing department there will take a look at all of your documents and your application to make sure that they are all complete. Lots of people ask us how long it might take before they get a decision. There really is no pat answer for that question. The Graduate and Admissions Department, along with my office and the entire School of Education, strives to complete the whole process in less than a month after all of your final documents have been uploaded. And many times that happens much quicker, especially if your application includes all of the correct items that we have covered here in this video. Like I said earlier, official transcripts can take a while to receive. That is often the last document we are waiting for, so make sure that you make those requests early. And also, please be aware of the deadlines for applications to be completed. You can get that information from our Graduate and Professional Admissions Department. If you find you have any questions or concerns about your application or the documents necessary for your application, or just any questions for us about the entire process, please feel free to contact either my office, the Office of Credentials, or the Graduate and Professional Center, and the information is here. All right, and if you need to visit if you aren't sure how to contact the CTC, here's the information for that as well as the exam website for you. We look forward to seeing your files in our office very soon. We hope you found this information helpful, and I'm so grateful for you to have been here. Thank you.